This is Eric Rutan of Cannibal Corpse. You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast with Andrew McKay Smith.
G'day everybody, hope you're well. I've got a chat featuring Dave White from the group Municipal Waste, amongst many others. Now, the catalyst for our introduction is due to an Australian tour which will be happening very soon, not long after publication, so early July 2024. Throughout the conversation, of course, we touch on the tour, but we go much deeper as regular listeners anticipate. We talk about the other bands that Dave has been a part of. I actually opened this discussion, well, we talked for a little bit beforehand, but we actually opened the discussion that you can hear with me asking him all about whether or not he feels the youth are represented fairly and reasonably in rock and metal these days, and he has a very different view on things than what my experience has been. So let's just kick off there, shall we? So here he is, Dave White from Municipal Waste. I assume we're about the same age, so mid-40s. Okay, and what I find...
I got some years on you.
Oh, well, there you go. So there you go. You're keeping well, by the way. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
We just find there are no younger musicians around in our local scene. I play every weekend playing covers, but there's just... The youngest is probably 35, if that. I mean, I'm on the younger scale at 46. Do you find that there's not a lot of youth coming through in rock and metal at the moment?
Oh, no, there's tons of it.
Right, okay. It must just be me.
Yeah, there's lots of it. It's everybody's in the band. Like my niece, this is really funny, actually. My niece, she's not actually my niece, but she's technically my cousin. Like my cousin Gary's daughter, she is the only one I know that's like into extreme music.
Yeah.
And my brothers they're fans, but she's actually playing bass and she's in a band. And she sends me a message one day. She goes, "Hey, I'm in a band now. We're either going to be Beatdown or Slam." And it made me laugh, and it also made me excited at the same time because, all right, cool. Someone understands exactly what I've been doing for my whole life, the underground subculture. You know, I'm very psyched for her. So her father called me up and he's like, what should I do? She wants to do this. What should she do? What should I do? And then like, I'm going up there to have a meeting with him and talk to him about a bunch of stuff. But to answer, get back to the original question. Yes, I feel like there's a lot of youth gaining inspiration from everything these days, and being in a band is easier than it ever has been, depending on the area, and of course, because YouTube and every lesson you could possibly think of is at your fingertips. So you learn and progress faster than anybody ever could. Back in the day, we didn't have any of that stuff, so it was just like figuring it out on our own. But now you can see everything, how everything's done, so the bar gets raised constantly.
Yes, I understand.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, no, it is exciting, and you've definitely had your proud uncle moment there too. Yeah, believe me, try as I might to get my daughters into extreme music or what have you, they won't have a bar of it. But they're probably a bit too young too. But I thought my eldest might start to gravitate towards some of it. But they love K-pop and J-pop and stuff we never had access to as kids. And one thing, just on the point you raised there, so I really like that you mentioned that from the perspective that we a bit like, there's this confluence of things happening that are happening universally at the moment too, but we've never had a time where we've had so much resources available to us to learn things. It's just
totally. And
application that's missing at times. Yeah.
Yeah. And, to double down on that, Municipal Waste, we're a working band. We've been, First of all, I can't wait to come back. It's been a while since we've been there. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my favorite places to play. AC/DC is my favorite band ever of all time.
Cool.
So, I get psyched when even Australia even gets mentioned. But we get more and more younger people coming out to our shows every year, which is amazing. It's super good. We're always getting new, younger people coming to see us. It's not just the old guard that likes the crossover thrash. When I joined the band, so many older dudes came out, like older than me, and they're like, "Oh man, I'm psyched! Nobody's doing this." It's like 2004 when Phil and I first joined the band. So it was very exciting and refreshing, to see to be acknowledged and embraced by the older people and the younger people. And as we keep going, trucking and trucking and trucking, but more and more and more young people are coming. So that's awesome. People are paying attention. I'm way into it, and we're very lucky at the same time.
Okay, awesome. It's really happening for you guys then from the sounds of things. So just on that point, I did speak to Ryan years ago when Slime and Punishment was released, and I thought that was a killer album, but I got the impression it wasn't as well received as some of your other albums. Is that an accurate reflection of your experience?
Well, the thing with our band is like some people like certain records better than others. So it's all about personal taste, I guess, because we've never stopped working as hard as we have. And like, I mean, not everything is going to be great. There's some really great songs on that, and maybe some people didn't get the message, but we kept going, you know?
Yeah, you just got to keep trucking.
Does that make any sense to you?
Mate, it does. I mean, look, it's, you know, what do you do? At the end of the day, you can only release the music that's in you at the time. You can't say, it's like Kerry King talks about fans thinking that there's a vault of Slayer material there. There's none. They released everything that they'd recorded. You put out what you've got at the time, and if fans think it's better than, or they think older stuff's better than new stuff, which is almost universally the case, then so be it. What can you do about it as the artist?
Yeah, it's a snapshot of where we are in that time, and it's the first record when Nick joined the band, so it was exciting. I think the songs are fucking great, man.
Look, touring too. So you are road dogs. You've been doing this for a long time. What is it about touring that keeps you? Or how do you stay? Here we go. How do you stay motivated when touring? Because I understand it can be a grind.
It is a grind, and you know, we've been doing it a really long time. We all aged together. We all know one another extremely well, and we all know when to give each other space, which is extremely important. Everybody's completely different. Everyone has a unique personality. And the thing is, like, playing live, we're the type of band that feeds off the audience. It's a volley. So when we're throwing it out there and they're feeding off it and throwing it back, it only makes us go for it even harder. We have that connection with the audience, which I mean, you can't really write it down and explain what it is. You have to be in the moment to understand that. But we feed off that, and that's what really keeps us going, the live element. Of course, we like writing music together and releasing new records, but being out on the road, seeing new places, seeing old friends, meeting new people, and having that volley, the connection with the audience, man, there's nothing better than that. I've never second guessed what I've been doing ever because of that.
How do you choose a set list then? Because you are popular here in Australia, so there's fans do.
That's difficult.
Yeah, deep cuts. Yeah, so do you argue over it, or what do you do?
We don't really argue over it. You know, we're at this point where like, yeah, that's cool. And, you know, somebody really adamant about playing something, and I'm not going to be like, nah, I don't want to do that. You really want to do it. Now, who am I to say, you know, I don't want to do that. Those days are long gone. I mean, one song might not be someone's favorite song to play, but everyone is really, you know, someone else is really hyped on it. We're not going to take that away from one another.
Just talking about the touring again, you arguably have the most physically demanding role of anybody on stage. Okay, so.
But I'm sitting down, so it's pretty cool.
But you know what I'm saying. If you're having a bad night, it's really obvious with the drummer, whereas the guitarist can sort of just let the other guitarist play or turn the bass up or something. So how do you accommodate for those moments where you're feeling less than stellar?
Man, you just push through. You know, the rule number one: don't stop, ever.
Yes.
You make a mistake, you pause, and you come back in. Just never stop playing the song. You don't want the song to come to a halt, which has happened before, you know, and like everybody goes through it. Like even Iron Maiden like last time I saw Iron Maiden, they made a bunch of mistakes. Like Bruce didn't even come in through halfway through Where Eagles Dare. So it was like, wow, this is amazing. Iron Maiden just fucking screwed up so hard right now. It's really refreshing to see something like that on that level, someone blowing it. But they never stopped. They just carried on and, you know, they finished the song at the end.
Fleetwood Mac did that, and Lindsey Buckingham stopped the mid song like this sort of thing. It says, "No, bugger that, we're starting over again." It was epic.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain way to do that. You got to have finesse to do that. If you got to stop everybody, and then you got to have something really interesting and kind of funny to say to reset everyone, and including the band, and then you try again, which could lead to an interesting circumstance. Like a kind of intimate moment.
For sure, I was just
but
watching.
For me, I like to barrel through it.
Yeah. Well, are you an Alice in Chains fan at all?
You know what? I never was. I never got that because when all the stuff came to the threshold, I was like neck deep rather, in grindcore and death metal and closed-minded, blah blah this, that, the other thing. But Phil, our bass player, actually convinced me years later that Alice in Chains was a good band, and I got the message. And I think there's a song called Stone off the record, The Devil Put the Dinosaurs Here.
Okay.
And it's so unbelievably heavy. it's such a great song. They're a fantastic band. There's no the older I get, I understand that like we're all doing the same stuff, but everybody's just choosing to play a different style of music. So there's no joy or anything else for me to bash on someone if I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're a great band. I get it more and more these days.
Yep, same. The older I get, the more I'm in tune with them. But the point I was going to make around Alice was that during their MTV Unplugged session, which is arguably the best of the lot of the MTV Unplugged sessions, they Lane didn't start, or he started at the wrong spot in one of the songs, and Jerry just stopped the song and they just started it up again. But it was one of those moments where you saw the interaction between the members on stage and making it feel a lot more personal.
Yeah, it's human. It's a human error.
Yeah, exactly. Warts and all. Yeah, I hate this perfection. Here's a good one for you. Okay. And now I know it doesn't apply to you guys, but what are your thoughts about backing tracks and vocals being piped in through the PA like what Motley Crue were doing?
It makes sense for some bands, not all. I think some bands, it's like an easy way to do things. But like when you're like a super, I don't know, progressive technical band, you have all these stuff going on. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I don't think you should rely on it though. No. But people have certain ways of doing things. I'm not going to say it's whack, but if you're letting that do all the work and you're not performing yourself, you need to look at yourself a little closer. I'll say that.
Yeah, it was. There were curious comments from the great Blackie Lawless from Wasp, who we all know and love, and he said he didn't have a problem with it. And it's one of the rare times where I did a tweet or an X or whatever they're called these days, and said, "Look, I'd rather hear Blackie at his absolute worst than with backing tracks and everything else covering up what he actually sounds like." And I know a lot of people feel that same way because it just. If we want to listen to the album, I don't know whether you can see it. I've got the box set up here behind me, the Wasp box set.
Oh, yeah, I love Wasp.
Yeah, we know what the albums sound like. Let's hear what you sound like now, to your point.
Yeah, that's the thing. The older you get and the longer you're doing it, things are going to change. It's not going to be, you're not going to get the first album like 40 years later, like the same recording, the same quality. You're going to get what they're doing now. And like, I could never, like, if you're still out doing it and you're enjoying it, good for you. My hat's off to you.
Mm. You're a very creative guy as well. You've been involved in multiple projects over the years. So what is it that gets you? You're obviously enthusiastic about music. So do you just have?
I love music.
So you just have a different approach for each band, or do you approach them fairly similarly? And do you write a lot of this stuff?
No. Well, the thing is I'm very fortunate to play with a lot of really talented people that are much more talented than me at one point. And I only gain knowledge from that. I learn, I become more creative and I progress more. And I have all those, I don't know, lack of a better word, footnotes at my disposal on my Rolodex to add to whatever I want down the road. I've always I've never not been in more than one band at once.
Hmm.
And I just love music so much. Like I have all these ideas in my head that won't fit Municipal Waste, so I got to find somewhere else to put them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear. I was just looking through the list. So, for people listening, so there's Burnt by the, and correct me if I'm wrong, there's probably more, but Burnt by the Sun, Discordant Axis, Black Army Jacket, Publicist UK, Melt Banana, Denim and Leather. That's what I could dig up. So that's a lot in addition to
Denim and Leather, I don't know. I'm not in that band. I don't know what that is.
No, I don't know. I mean, you type these things in and stuff comes up, but the first five, they're all yours bands, aren't they? Bands.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. A lot of people that love Municipal Waste that come to see us, there's a lot of them that don't know I had a life before Municipal Waste.
Hmm.
Like I did a bunch of stuff before that, before being in Waste.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's up to them to go back and find it all.
So Burnt by the Sun, what was the death metal band that had an album of that name? Who was it? Was it Suffocation? Got an EP? I remember that. But anyway, or Burnt by the...
I don't remember any band having an album title of that name.
Burnt by the Sun.
Be honest.
Yeah, or might be something similar, but I certainly remember the band. That's for sure. So is that an ongoing concern for you?
Concerned?
Meaning
how
you're still
so?
playing and still.
Oh no,
keeping it active?
we haven't played. We haven't played in years. That was a really great band. My best friend growing up, and I'm really proud of that stuff. We made some really great records together. That band was instrumental, and when I had some problems exercising them. The best example is when it was Municipal Waste. We had just finished
Yeah.
The Art of Partying, and we were touring a lot. We had a lot of attention. We were doing really great, and we were made Massive Aggressive at the same time. Burnt by the Sun got back together, and we made Heart of Darkness around the same time, same year. And Municipal Waste was, it was great. We were traveling the world, playing music to people. We were doing well. We were successful, happy. None of the songs have a negative content, but I still had that, darkness in me that I had to get out. So Burnt by the Sun was the perfect place for that. And then we made Heart of Darkness, and it was like one of the angriest records I've ever made in my life at around the same time. So it's definitely, really beneficial.
Yeah, you were a favorite in the pages of Metal Maniacs. Do you remember that magazine? That's where I remember the band.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I remember when Mike Williams and his girlfriend at the time, Alicia, ran Metal Maniacs, and they promoted Human Remains way before anyone else. So I'm super thankful for both of them. And I still keep in touch with Mike, and I saw Alicia on our last UK tour not long ago. She was in that band 13 in New York City years ago.
Yeah, I just spoke to Mike last week. Actually, good fella. He's looking well.
Yeah, he's doing great. I'm happy for him, and I'm quick to point out how much he did for the band when no one was really paying attention. So I'm forever grateful for Mike.
Indeed, yeah. What about in terms of fan encounters and the like? Do you get, obviously you get a lot of opportunity to interact, but what's a memorable experience that you've had with a fan? And if it's in Australia, that'd be even better.
I meet all kinds of different people, and I really like talking to people. I really like talking to people when it's a really chill environment. And I just said this recently. Last time we were in Australia, I went to Feral Brewing. I really like beer a lot. It's a big passion of mine. And I went there, and I paid a visit to Brady Drums as well. It's a super small 3-man operation where they build everything extremely super duper by hand. There's just 3 rooms, and you go out back, and there's the giant tree with just shaved down to make the shells. It was fucking incredible. It blew my mind. So just talking to those guys about everything in general was amazing. In Australia, and actually recently I met 2 Australians for the first time who I totally adore, Donnie Benet, and his brother. I saw them twice this year. The band's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Donnie?
I am. Yeah, he's certainly, his Instagram reels keep on popping up on my timeline. So I am
Yeah,
familiar.
he's the man, and the band are fucking killers, man. They're ringers. The band is so sick. I got to chat it up with them too, so it was really nice.
Mate, that'd be a collaboration for you because Donnie's a phenomenal bass player, mate. You and him.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, he's amazing. He's incredible. Yeah, for sure. But I have no problem talking to people. I like it. It's good.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right. I'll make.
I'm stoked that they're there in the first place. How can I not be? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah. Well, you clearly love what you're doing, and that helps.
I'm very fortunate, very, very fortunate that people still care and we're still able to do what we do. I'm very psyched on that.
Indeed. Okay. Well, Dave, I'm going to make this my final question for you, and I ask all of the guys that have been there and done that and have more than just one or two stories to tell. So here it comes, and I've shown my hand early. But when's the book coming out? When's the biography going to be released?
Oh man, I've been making notes for years. I'll let you know, but it's on the table. I don't know when. I've been encouraged by quite a few people and I have people that have offered to help me with it as well. So, and I got a lot of stories to tell. And it's funny because I think about it more and more because the last Morbicon tour that we did in the United States, it's another band that Phil and I do. It's kind of homage to early 90s, our spin on early 90s black metal.
Oh, nice.
We listened to a lot of audiobooks, and we listened to Sebastian Bach's, Paul Stanley's, and Tony Iommi's, and they were all awesome in their own aspect. So it makes me think about doing it even more.
Yeah, please do it.
One day it'll happen.
I look forward to reading it when it comes out then.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. That's super cool. Are you coming to a show?
I'm going to try to get out. Yes, I'm in Brisbane. I haven't seen you guys before, but I'll hit you up and I'll try and get out because.
Oh yeah, come on out, man. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, I'd love to see you guys and do.
Bring the kids.
Yeah, I'll sneak in past security there. Yeah, but it's been great to chat to you, mate. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. I had a really great time. I hope to see you at the show.
And I certainly hope to go to the show. We'll see if I can get out that night there. Just so busy at the moment. But there he is, Dave Witte from Municipal Waste. What a great fella. If you like that one, go across to scarsandguitars.com. There are many more chats that await, but you, the podcast audience, you already know that. Thank you so much to you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you've got any requests or want me to know anything, or if there's something going on in the world of music that you think I should be aware of, please do send me a message via socials or on email or something. I'm easy to get a hold of these days. So thanks very much for listening again. My name is Andrew Mackay Smith, and I'm the host of the show, Scars and Guitars. Until the next one, it's a goodbye for now.